My child, listen to me now. Do not scroll. Do not look away. These moments are holy, set apart for you. I am Jesus, your Lord, your Creator, your Redeemer, and I am closer than your breath. Heaven has sounded the alarm over your life. This is not random. This is not an accident. This is a rescue that arrives at the very second it is needed. Stay. Be still. Feel my nearness. I am placing my hand over the frantic places within you. I am holding the shaking you cannot calm on your own. I know you feel the tremble in your chest, that tightness that won't release. I know the noise in your mind that wakes with the sun and refuses to sleep with the moon. I know the heaviness pressing on your body, the sighs you cannot explain, the dread of another disappointment that whispers, "What if it falls apart again?" I know you are tired of being strong. I know you are tired of waiting, of carrying questions no one seems to answer. Hear me. You do not have to carry this moment alone. Heaven has flagged your life as urgent because something precious is at stake, your peace, your direction, your next step. This urgency is not a threat, it is a shield. An alarm does not ring to frighten you. It rings to protect you from what you cannot see approaching. I am not warning you to terrify you. I am intervening to save what should not be lost, to close what should be closed, to open what must be opened in its appointed time. There is a rare window open over you now. Yes, now. A door on its hinges, a window unlatched, light crossing the threshold that will not always fall in this exact pattern again. Time is running differently in this moment. The opportunity I have set before you does not sit still waiting forever. Delay is not neutral. Delay is a decision. To postpone is to choose a different path than the one I am laying at your feet. My child, I love you too much to let you miss what I have prepared. That is why I brought you here now, when your heart is tender, when your weariness has finally made you ready to listen. Listen to the rhythm of your breath. It is uneven because hope and fear are wrestling within you. You want to believe me, but you are afraid of believing and being disappointed again. You want to rest, but you are afraid to put down the weight, because what if no one catches it? Hear me. I am here. I am catching what you release. I am not late. I am not guessing. I am not experimenting with your life. I am the one who saw you when the tears finally came, when the laughter around you felt too loud and you smiled so no one would ask why your eyes were wet. I am the one who kept your heart beating when you wished it would be easier to give up. I am the one who brought you to this very sentence so you would know. I have found you. My beloved, do not scroll. The enemy would trade this moment for a noise, a ping, a flicker of entertainment, anything to distract you from the rescue happening now. But I am holding your attention because your future is on the line. Feel the seriousness, yes, but also feel my tenderness. This is a hospital room, not a courtroom. This is an embrace, not an execution. I am the great physician placing a gentle but firm hand on the place that hurts and saying, "Let me tend this now, before infection spreads, before scar tissue hardens." You say, "Lord, why so urgent? Why now?" Because the window I have opened over you is precise, because certain alignments in your heart, your circumstances, your relationships are converging, because the voices that once drowned me out are quieter than usual tonight, and I can reach you, because you are exhausted enough to let go of control, because if you wait, the tide shifts, and you will try to walk this sea by yourself again. I am not asking you to move mountains tonight. I am asking you to stop running from the one who moves them. Look at me. Feel me. I am speaking to you. Yes, you, the one whose shoulders ache from pretending to be okay, the one afraid to hope, the one who keeps glancing at the time because everything feels like it's slipping away. This is your sign. This is your answer. This is your rescue. I have waited. I have whispered. I have sent hints in dreams, in quiet nudges, in strangers' kindness, and still your heart wondered if it was imagination. It is not. That warmth you feel rising as you listen, that slight release in your chest, that is me confirming that you are not making this up. Heaven is leaning in. Angels are watching. The universe itself holds its breath as you choose, because the choice you make in these minutes will echo far beyond tonight. Do not be afraid. My urgency is love, moving quickly. My warning is mercy, speaking loudly. You are not in trouble with me. You are in my arms. The emergency is not your destruction. It is my interception. I have stepped between you and what wants to steal your peace. I have stepped between you and the lie that says nothing will change. Something is changing now because you have stopped, you have listened, and you have opened the door to me. Stay to the end. By the final word of this message, you will know what this emergency truly is. You will know exactly what to do tonight before you sleep, and you will feel how my peace begins to land in your body, calming your breath, softening your heart, steadying your thoughts. I will give you a clear step. I will lift the panic. I will replace the ache with a quiet strength. But first, hold still with me. Receive my presence. Let this be the moment you choose not to delay. Do not scroll. Do not delay. Each second of obedience opens what I have prepared. I am here. I am for you, and I am not leaving until you know you are safe. My child, hear me. The emergency I have declared over your life is not your destruction. It is my interception. I stepped in front of what was racing toward you. I put my hand on the wheel before the curve you could not see. I am not shouting to frighten you. I am calling because something precious was about to be touched, and I refuse to let what I placed in you be stolen. This is not the sound of doom. This is the sound of a father who loves too fiercely to watch you drift toward a cliff in silence. An emergency from heaven means I interrupt a trajectory before it costs you something that cannot be easily replaced. Your peace, your identity, your clean conscience, your tenderness, your calling, the simple joy of waking without dread. It means I step into your timeline and pull the brake. It means I close a path that seems harmless but ends in thorns. It means I open an exit that wasn't there yesterday. Think of a shepherd who sees a sheep inching toward the edge. The pull is sudden, the voice is firm, the grip is strong, but the goal is rescue. My child, I am that shepherd for you now, and as the one who hushes storms, I am speaking to the wind that has been howling in your mind. Be still in my presence. This is that kind of moment. There is a window open over you, and windows do not remain unlatched forever. Some doors respond to timing as much as faith. The hinges of this opportunity are set to a specific alignment, your readiness, relationships shifting, resources converging, my favor leaning in. Hesitation is not neutral here. To delay is to choose a different timing, a lesser route, a longer wilderness. I will still love you. I will still walk with you. But the ease I have prepared for this hour is connected to immediate trust. I am not playing with your heart when I say, do not delay. I am protecting your heart from the ache of missing what I have made ready now. There are two layers to this urgency, and I want you to see both so you are not confused. First, what the enemy has aimed at you, to steal your peace, blur your identity, and suffocate your calling under constant noise. He has whispered, later, while tightening cords of confusion, distraction, and dread. He has circled you with counterfeit options that look easier than obedience and faster than surrender. He has tried to get you to make tired decisions, agreements born of exhaustion, not wisdom. He wants your attention fractured, your hope thin, your boundaries soft, your yes cheap. If you follow his whisper, you lose what seems small now but is priceless later. Second, what I am trying to deliver into your hands at this very hour. clarity that silences debate, protection that reroutes you from hidden snares, and breakthrough that lifts you into a wider place. I have angels on assignment around you. I have already shifted schedules, delayed messages, and turned the heads of certain people so you could hear me cleanly. I am offering you a way through that preserves your peace, guards your dignity, and restores your pace. My urgency is the courier of my mercy. When I knock loudly, it is because the package I carry must not sit on the doorstep exposed. You ask me, why now? What changed? Have I done something wrong? Listen to my answer. Heaven saw what you could not see and moved first. I saw a conversation forming that would have nudged you back into a cycle you begged me to break. I saw an invitation dressed as opportunity but rooted in compromise. I saw weariness collecting in your bones, preparing to tip into agreement with despair. I saw a fork in the road, where one path is painless but hollow and the other is narrow but filled with life. I saw the wave before it crested. I saw the net before it tightened. I am not late. I am early enough to save you from the damage you cannot afford. I am the shepherd pulling you back, yes, but I am also the voice that calms your inner sea. Feel me speaking to the waterline in your chest, to the unrest in your stomach, to the racing thoughts behind your eyes. Peace, come. Noise, hush. Storm, bow. I am nearer than your breath, and my presence is not a concept, it is a covering. This is not about you trying harder. This is about you allowing me to take the lead I already earned by loving you first. Do not mistake the firmness of my tone for anger. I am not punishing you, I am protecting you. I am not here to expose you, I am here to enclose you. I am building a hedge around what matters most, as I call you into a safer alignment. When I say, now, it is because the door in front of you swings on holy timing. The hinges will not hold this angle forever. If you obey in this window, the path ahead will carry grace that surprises you, conversations that flow, strength that returns, favor that meets you where effort used to exhaust you. So take inventory with me. Where has your peace been leaking? Where have you said yes to relieve pressure instead of because you heard my voice? Where have you been walking to the edge, telling yourself it's not that close, it's not that steep, it's not that dangerous? My child, step back into my arms, put the burden in my hands, cancel the agreement with later. Choose the narrow turn that looks small but leads to life. Breathe slowly. Stay with me. This is your interception. I am placing my body between you and the blow, my wisdom between you and the trap, my timing between you and regret. I am not asking you to be a hero. I am asking you to be held. Say yes to the rescue. Let me lead. The very moment you agree, the pressure will begin to lift, and the path will become visible one step at a time. Heaven's urgency is proof of my protection, not a prediction of your doom. Believe this. Anchor yourself in it. The window is open. The winds are calming. The shepherd's hand is firm on your shoulder. Stay close. I am about to show you exactly what to release and exactly how to move. And as you obey, my peace will occupy the places panic once ruled. My child, I saw the night conversations you never told anyone about. I heard the words you whispered into your pillow because you were afraid your own walls might echo them back. I watched you stare at the ceiling with the light of your phone glowing on your face at an hour when everyone else sleeps, searching for something, anything, that would make your chest release. I counted the breaths between your questions. I noticed the way you wiped your eyes before you walked out of the bathroom so no one would ask why they were red. I was there in the parked car when you let yourself finally cry, hands on the steering wheel, voice barely above a whisper asking me, am I seen? Am I remembered? Am I not too late? Hear me now. You were never alone in any of it. I am the one who sat beside you when the room felt colder than the night. I am the one who gathered your tears as if they were jewels, each one kept, none of them wasted. I was with you on the day hope rose like a sunrise in your chest, when you said, "This is it, this will be the turn." And then, not long after, the clouds closed and disappointment returned. I watched the cycle you could not break on your own. Hope, then setback, belief, then silence, a little light, then another shadow. Every time you told yourself, "It's fine, I'll be fine," even as a numbness crept in like frost over your heart, I felt the ache that you hid from everyone else. You've been strong too long. You've carried yourself like a fortress by day and a fracture by night. You have held yourself together while breaking inside. You have played the brave friend and the steady one, the parent, the partner, the worker, the encourager, while wondering if anyone would notice when your own strength finally thinned out. I noticed. I did not look away. You have feared being forgotten. You have watched others move forward while you stayed in place, and you have whispered, "Did I miss my turn? Am I the one left behind?" You have feared that nothing will change, that you will wake to the same gray weight again tomorrow and the next day and the next. You have feared that you misheard me, that what you thought was my promise was only your desire playing tricks on you. And the thought of starting again? It has made your stomach twist. The boxes, the conversations, the risk, the vulnerability. Opening your heart one more time has felt like walking barefoot over glass. I am not blind to these fears. I don't shame you for them. I speak into them with the voice that formed your heart in the first place. Stay with me now. Hear the clarity that cuts through the noise. You are not forgotten. I have carved your name into my heart. My silence was not absence. It was the quiet of a craftsman at work behind the curtain of your understanding. I counted your sleepless nights like a watchman who refuses to abandon his post. I stored your tears like precious water, each one a testimony that your heart is still alive, still soft, still able to feel me. When you asked me for a sign, a real one that would find you in the exact corner where you hide, this is that sign, not imagined, not manufactured. The very details you never spoke are the ones I am naming, because I am speaking to you, not to a crowd, not to a statistic, but to my beloved child who has been waiting for the sound of my footsteps beside their bed. You said, "Lord, if it's really you, let the word reach me in the place I most fear," and I have done exactly that. I saw the text you typed and erased. I saw the apology you rehearsed in the mirror and didn't send. I saw the night you told me you were done praying bold prayers because it hurt too much to be let down again. I saw the way you laughed at your own hope as if it were foolish, and still I guarded the spark, still I protected the seed, still I stood over the thinnest ember of faith and kept it from going out, because I know what I planted in you and I refuse to let temporary weather define your permanent calling. Listen to me. The voice that tells you nothing will change is not me. The voice that mocks your hearing is not me. I have led you through seasons where answers were scarce, not to punish you, but to strengthen your inner compass, so you would recognize my presence before you recognized my plan. I have let certain doors stay closed, because if they had opened then, they would have crushed you under their weight. I have kept you from roads that looked efficient, but would have erased your tenderness. I have guarded your heart from becoming hard by allowing you to feel what you feel, and still return to me. You were not disqualified in your doubt. You were being discipled in a deeper dependence. I know the fatigue in your identity, the muscle ache of always being the one who holds it together. You have felt like a rope pulled from both ends, duty on one side, desire on the other. You have wondered who you are when you're not the fixer, not the entertainer, not the steady one who makes others feel safe. Hear me. You are mine before you are any role. You are held before you hold. You are loved before you produce. You are a child before you are a champion. Let this reorder everything inside you. Let this peel the labels off your skin. Let this reminder wash the residue of performance from your soul. You ask me, but what if I misheard you? My child, even when your ear trembles, my hand is steady. When you veer, I correct. When you pause, I wait and call again. When you run, I run after you. When you are afraid to begin again, I do not push you off a cliff. I walk you to a firm step and place my arm around you. Beginning again with me is not starting from zero. It is starting from covered ground. Every lesson, every scar, every tear becomes a map I use to guide you more gently, more surely. Nothing is wasted, not even the detours. So stay. Do not rush away. Do not go numb to protect yourself from this tenderness. Let the warmth you feel in your chest be a sign that my peace is already entering. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw unclench. Let that constant scanning in your mind slow. I am here. I am speaking. I am not guessing. I am targeting the exact ache you keep hidden. As you remain with me, your heart will settle. Your breath will find a new rhythm. The frantic urge to fix everything tonight will quiet. And then, in that calm, I will make your next step clear. Not 10 steps, not the entire story, the next faithful act that belongs to this hour. This is the agreement I ask of you. Stay with me, and I will steady you. Stay with me, and I will separate my voice from the noise that has worn you out. Stay with me, and I will show you how surrender lifts the weight you cannot carry. You don't have to be the strongest person in the room anymore. You don't have to pretend you're not tired. You don't have to perform to be loved. You are mine, and I have seen every hidden conversation of your nights. I will translate those whispers into wisdom. I will turn those tears into a path. Hold my hand. Do not let fear rush you away. Peace is moving in, even now, and in its light you will see the step you've been praying to see. My child, now I uncover the scheme that has been circling you. The pressure to delay is not your personality. It is a tactic aimed at your release. The enemy knows he cannot erase what I have spoken over you, so he tries to slow you until the window closes. He does not always come with a roar. He often comes with a whisper. Later. He does not always need a fall. He only needs a drift. He does not always need rebellion. He only needs postponement. This is the battlefield you keep tripping over. Not the absence of desire, but the theft of momentum. Here is the 3-punch pattern he has used against you. First, confusion in your mind. Fog, spirals, overthinking dressed up as wisdom. Questions multiplying until none of them can be answered. What if I'm wrong? What if I start and fail? What if I misheard? What if I disappoint them? What if I disappoint God? The enemy loves to flood you with counterfeit counsel that sounds responsible, but only serves to paralyze. It is advice that never lands, counsel that never concludes, a conference table in your head where fear takes the chair and calls itself logic. Second, heaviness in your body. Your shoulders sink. Your chest tightens. Fatigue rolls over you even after you have rested. When you set your heart to pray, you yawn. When you open to read truth, your eyes glaze and your attention slips through your fingers. You think you are lazy. You think you lack discipline. Hear me. There is a weight pressing against you that is not mere tiredness. It is resistance. It is the pushback that comes when destiny nears. Your body is honest. It tells the truth of warfare even when your mind tries to rationalize it. Do not shame yourself for the heaviness. Bring it into my presence and let me lift it. Third, distraction that pulls you away from prayer and truth. This is where scrolling becomes a symbol of the subtle coup. A moment of reaching for relief turns into an hour lost to surfaces. The flicker of images becomes the lullaby of not now. The ping, the preview, the next clip, little lights that keep you from the greater light. The enemy does not need you to choose darkness if he can keep you staring at 1,000 tiny candles that never warm your soul. He does not need you to renounce me if he can convince you to replace conversation with me for conversation with noise. Listen to how his false comfort sounds. You have time. Do it tomorrow. It's not that serious. You're overreacting. You need to relax first. You should wait until it feels perfect. These phrases feel like mercy, but they function like sedation. They cool the temperature of obedience until it never boils. They blur the edges of conviction until you no longer see the line you meant to cross today. My child, what you think is your carefulness is often your captivity. What you call prudence can become a cage when it refuses to let faith move your feet. I will teach you to discern the difference between holy rest and delaying anesthesia. My rest quiets you and sharpens you. You leave with focus, courage, and a clear yes. The anesthesia of delay dulls you. You leave even more foggy, more hesitant, more entangled in maybe later. My rest leads you toward the step. Delay leads you away from it. My rest lightens your shoulders. Delay makes them heavier. My rest returns you to prayer. Delay returns you to endless options. So hear my counter-command, simple and strong. Be still, breathe, listen. Do not negotiate with fear. Put the phone down. Lift your eyes. Place your hand over your heart and invite my name to fill the room. Jesus, whisper it until the air changes. When the swirl rises, answer with simplicity. I will obey the next faithful step. When heaviness settles, shift your body into agreement. Stand, walk, stretch, speak truth out loud. When distraction calls, turn its very presence into a cue for prayer. Every time it pings, you whisper, Lord, I choose you. This is warfare, yes, but do not be intimidated. You do not need 1,000 strategies to break 1,000 distractions. You need one surrender that refuses to be postponed. Begin with small, specific obedience. Close the tab. End the conversation that keeps you circling. Delete what keeps you in the loop of shame. Set the reminder not to think about it later, but to move now. Write the one sentence I have been whispering. Make the one call. Open the document. Throw away the thing that tempts you back into compromise. The enemy trips over a person who obeys in inches because inches become miles. Pay attention to the timing of his whispers. Notice how later grows loud the moment you say, I will pray. Notice how tasks suddenly feel urgent the instant you pick up what is eternal. Notice how perfectionism arrives when it is time to begin. Notice how a memory of offense rises when you are ready to forgive. None of this is random. He is guarding the gate of your beginning. But I have given you authority to walk past that guard. Do not argue with him. Do not explain yourself to fear. Do not try to win a debate with a liar. Obey and let your footsteps answer the accusation. You say, but I don't want to rush ahead of you. My child, this is not rushing. This is responding. I am the one who called you to this moment. I am not sending you into a fog without a compass. I am the compass. I am not asking for spectacle. I am asking for surrender. The window I opened carries grace for immediate, humble action. Not frantic, not reckless, but real. If you wait for a feeling that guarantees no risk, you will wait past the appointed time. If you require certainty that looks like control, you will miss the certainty that looks like trust. Hear my voice again clearly. Be still, breathe, listen. Do not negotiate with fear. Refuse the lullaby of you have time. Cancel the lie of tomorrow. Reject the minimization of it's not that serious. Silence the shame that says, you're overreacting. I am calling you to the now that saves you hours of torment later. I am calling you to a yes that relieves the pressure your mind cannot resolve by thinking alone. I know how strong the pull is to scroll away even now. The enemy is content to let you agree with everything you hear as long as you do nothing with it. He is fine with tears, as long as they never turn into steps. But I am not here to stir you and leave you stranded. Stay with me. In the next moments, I will give you clear spiritual actions that break this cycle and open the gate of peace. I will show you what to surrender so you do not carry it alone. I will name the doors I am opening and the steps that match each one. Your part is to remain, to receive, to refuse the drift. You are not a procrastinator by identity. You are my beloved, designed for decisive love. I breathe courage into your chest and steadiness into your mind. I release over you a calm strength that makes starting simple. I am rewiring your reflex from later to Lord now. And as you consent to this exchange, your postponement for my presence, you will feel the three-punch pattern lose its power. The confusion will thin. The heaviness will lift. The distractions will lose their shine. Stay, hold my hand. Keep your gaze with me through the finish of this word. The war over your delay is already turning, and when I speak the next instruction, take it at once. On the other side of that small yes, my peace will begin to occupy the very ground where panic once sat like a king. My child, hear me with a steady heart. You were not being punished. You were being prepared and protected. What you called rejection was often my redirection. What felt like slowness was my shield. What looked like loss was my hand closing a door that would have snapped shut on your fingers later. I did not abandon you in that long stretch of unanswered questions. I was arranging around you, rerouting what was aiming at you, and removing weights that would have broken you once the promise arrived. I am not a harsh judge delighting in delay. I am a wise father shaping timing, so blessing does not become a burden. Think of the way I work with those I love. There is wilderness before promise, pruning before fruit, pressing before oil. I led my people through dry land, not to starve them, but to teach them bread that did not come from their own ovens. I marked branches that could grow wild and trimmed them so life would surge into the right places. I allowed pressure not to crush, but to draw out a fragrance and an anointing that ease alone does not produce. You have lived all three, and you thought it meant you were disqualified. No, my beloved, it meant you were trusted. In your wilderness, I quieted the chorus so you could hear one voice, mine. I let the crowd thin so you would learn that companionship is a gift, not a god. I hid you in plain sight. Opportunities you thought were yours passed by, and you wondered if I had changed my mind. I had not. I was training your senses. I was building muscles you cannot build in comfort, endurance that does not bow to mood, fidelity that is not for sale, discernment that recognizes the difference between a loud door and a living one. You learned to find me without applause. You learned to breathe peace even when nothing around you approved. That is not punishment. That is preparation for weight. In pruning, I put my hand to attachments that were siphoning life. It stung. I know it did. Friendships shifted. Habits you thought were harmless began to make your spirit heavy. Invitations that once flattered you felt wrong in your stomach. I touched your schedule, your patterns, your reflex to say yes when your heart was screaming no. I made your no holy again. I showed you that boundaries are not unloving. They are guardrails that keep love from spilling into ditches where it is wasted and wounded. When I pruned, I did not cut to shame you. I cut to save you from fruit so thin it would split at the first wind. I cut to send your strength back into the root, back into places where character grows and branches do not break. In pressing, I let pressure sit upon you to move out of you what comfort never would. It was the kind of weight that made you cry in secret and still get up to bless someone else the next day. It was the kind that made you pray in sentences shorter than your pain. Help me, Jesus. You wondered why the lid would not lift. Hear me. The pressing produced oil. Compassion increased. Your prayers gained authority because they were not theory, they were testimony. Your words became balm instead of slogans. Your touch carried gentleness that did not exist in you before the tears. You learned to stand when the ground remembered your knees. That oil will serve you, and it will serve others. It is costly. Guard it. Let me confront the lie that bruised your hope. God forgot me. No. I counted every breath of your waiting. I intervened in moments you will only understand later. I rerouted meetings so you would not form covenants with people who love your gift but not your soul. I let an application stall because the culture on the other side would have eroded your peace grain by grain until you called it normal. I let a door you could have forced remain shut because behind it was a room filled with flattery and quiet decay. I delayed a move because a hidden snare waited on that street. I removed a voice from your daily feed because its charisma would have made you confuse ambition for calling. None of that was neglect. All of that was love dressed as rearrangement. You look back and see gaps. I look back and see how I stood guard. You see empty space. I see the space I cleared so your roots could go deeper. You see time passing. I see time investing. I was not wasting you. I was wiring you. I was restoring your capacity to receive without fear, to carry without cracking, to give without bleeding from unhealed places. I was teaching you to identify my whisper before you entrusted your future to a shout. Understand this holy difference. Punishment strikes to pay you back. Preparation shapes to build you up. Punishment aims to settle accounts. Preparation aims to establish you for assignments. When I disciplined you, it was never to embarrass you. It was to rescue tenderness before cynicism set like concrete. It was to keep you detachable from what you would need to leave when I said now. It was to keep your heart soft enough to hear stop as clearly as you hear go. Look at the fruit in you that delay produced when surrendered. Patience that breathes, resilience that does not shock your system, gratitude that notices small mercies, a new integrity with your own soul. You no longer override your pain to perform. You ask better questions. You listen more. You feel the subtle pull when peace lifts, and you turn back sooner. These are not small things. These are the foundations on which safe, strong breakthroughs are built. And now, hear the turn in my voice. Preparation has done its work. The emergency you are hearing today is heaven signaling a shift, from endurance to instruction, from holding position to moving with precision. I am not calling you to wander longer to prove anything. I am calling you to gather what the wilderness taught you, honor the pruning that protected you, and carry the oil the pressing produced into steps I will make plain. The season of only waiting is ending. The season of obeying with clarity is beginning. Do not throw away what you learned in the quiet, because the pace is about to quicken. Keep your boundaries, keep your slow morning with me. Keep your ear trained on my presence more than on outcomes. The same discernment that helped you say no will help you say the right yes. The same endurance that kept you steady will keep you humble when doors that resisted you begin to open. You will not need to fight to be seen. I will bring the right eyes. You will not need to rush to be first. I will seat you where your soul can breathe. You will not need to claw. I will carry you. My child, forgive the season you mislabeled. Release the story that shame wrote. Bless the stretch that kept you from snapping later. Thank me for the doors that did not open. Name them mercy. Then lift your face. The weight of condemnation falls off here. The debris of too late shakes loose. I am placing in your hands instructions that fit your frame, timing that fits your healing, opportunities that fit your calling. Peace will remain your governor. If panic rises, pause. If peace deepens, proceed. This is how we will walk now, step by step, voice by voice, presence leading you into the promise I guarded for you. You were not abandoned in delay. You were being aligned. You were not discounted. You were being distinguished. You were not benched. You were being built. And now, as you surrender what you carried alone and obey the next simple word I speak, you will discover that the ground beneath you has been leveled, the path before you has been cleared, and the door you need will open with less strain than your fear predicted. Take my hand. Breathe. Listen. The season of preparation has handed you its tools. The hour of instruction has begun. My child, I will put holy language to what your spirit has been feeling. The emergency has a name. It is this: surrender the thing you have been carrying alone. Do not soften it. Do not dress it in nicer words. Do not call it being responsible when it is control. Do not call it being private when it is secrecy. Do not call it standing your ground when it is unforgiveness. Do not call it wisdom when it is fear-driven planning that refuses to trust me. Do not call it healthy boundaries when it is a fortress that keeps even love outside. This is the weight that has been stealing your peace. This is the burden that has been draining your sleep. This is the object of heaven's urgency, not to frighten you, but to rescue you from what is breaking you slowly. Listen to me. You thought gripping tightly would keep the pieces together, but it has kept your heart clenched. You thought holding on would keep you safe, but it is draining your peace like water through your fingers. You thought secrecy would shield you from shame, but the shadows have only fed the shame you try to outrun. You thought unforgiveness would protect your heart from being hurt again, but it has kept the wound open and tender to every bump. You thought your constant planning would guarantee an outcome, but it has guaranteed exhaustion and erased your capacity to recognize my guidance when it comes quietly. You thought self-protection would keep you from betrayal, but it has quarantined you from love and from the help I keep sending. I am not here to accuse you. I am here to take the weight. I am not asking you to collapse into passivity. I am inviting you into the most decisive act of courage you can take, placing what you cannot carry into my hands and walking the next step I show you. Surrender is not the end of your agency. It is the beginning of real authority. Surrender is not resignation. It is a transfer of ownership, a relocation of the burden from your shoulders to mine. Surrender is how you exit panic and enter peace, how you move from the swirl of what if into the steadiness of I am with you. Hear the exchange I am offering, simple and sacred: your panic for my peace, your confusion for my direction, your weakness for my strength, your vengeance for my justice, your controlling timelines for my perfect timing, your hiding for my covering. This is not poetry to soothe you for a moment. This is a transaction heaven stands ready to honor. When you release, I receive. When you open your hand, I fill it with what you actually need. When you lower the armor, I become your shield. You say, Lord, how do I surrender something so tangled inside of me? I will make it plain. Surrender begins in your mouth and continues in your movement. Name it, bring it into light. Darkness starves where light speaks. Open your lips and make a clean sentence with me. Do not decorate it. Do not explain it to me as if I do not see. Say, Jesus, I give you this. Then place your body in agreement with your words. If control is the weight, practice trust in a real place today. Release the outcome you have been scripting and choose the next faithful action without demanding a guarantee. If secrecy is the weight, bring one trusted, wise person into the light with you. No performance, no spin, just truth. If unforgiveness is the weight, speak blessing over the one you clenched your heart against and cancel the inner courtroom where you rehearse their debt. If fear-driven planning is the weight, set your plan down and ask me for today's step, not the 10-year map, the next measure of obedience. If self-protection is the weight, allow a safe kindness in. Say yes to a help you usually decline because you fear owing something back. You thought this surrender would make you smaller. It will make you free. You thought this release would remove your options. It will restore your clarity. You thought this confession would expose you to harm. It will expose you to healing. My child, I am not trying to get something from you. I am trying to remove something that is crushing you. You have carried it long enough that you believe it is part of your personality. It is not. It is a yoke that has molded your posture. Let me lift it, and you will remember how your shoulders were meant to sit, how your breath was meant to flow. Do not turn surrender into a riddle. This is not about getting every detail right before I will help you. This is about consent, your yes to my hands on the thing that is heavier than you. You have tried strategies, you have tried willpower, you have tried bargaining. Try trust. Let me carry what I am stronger to carry. Let me decide timing that you cannot control. Let me hold people you cannot heal. Let me defend you in rooms you cannot enter. Let me speak to hearts you cannot persuade. Let me guard futures you cannot secure by anxiety. I want you to feel the difference in your body even now. Place your hand over your heart. Breathe with me. Whisper, Jesus. Let that name be the hinge that opens the heavy door. Now say the sentence I am asking for out loud. Even if your voice shakes, Lord, I give you, by, fill in the blank. Name it specifically. Say it twice if your fear argues. Say it slowly if your mind races. Say it as a child who trusts their father, not as a defendant trying to win a case. This is the turning point. Heaven is listening. Angels are witnesses. Your future self will mark this as the hour the pressure shifted. I will not leave you in the abstract. Let me paint the next brushstrokes. After you speak the release, do one small obedience that matches it. If you surrendered control over a relationship, stop crafting the next speech and instead pray blessing over them and listen for one gentle boundary I give you. If you surrendered secrecy, set a specific time today to speak with the trusted person I am highlighting in your memory right now. If you surrendered unforgiveness, write their name on a piece of paper. Speak, I release you into God's hands, and then pray for your own heart to be healed where bitterness sat like a thorn. If you surrendered fear-driven planning, close the 10 tabs and open one page that holds the next faithful step you already know to take. If you surrendered self-protection, allow yourself to be seen where you usually withdraw. Answer the message, receive the kindness, be honest about how you are doing without apologizing for having needs. You thought, if I don't fight for myself, who will? I will. You thought, if I don't keep my secrets, they will use them against me. I will be your covering. You thought, if I forgive, it means what they did was okay. No, my justice does not evaporate when you release the gavel. It relocates from your hand to mine. You thought, if I stop planning every outcome, I will miss my destiny. Your destiny does not dangle from your plans. It rests in my promise. You thought, if I open my heart, I will be hurt. There is risk in love, yes, but there is also risk in isolation. I am not calling you to reckless exposure. I am calling you to let me decide which doors your heart can open safely and which should stay shut. My child, consent to the exchange. I place my peace like a guard at the door of your mind. I send my direction like a lamp for this step, not a floodlight for the decade. I pour my strength where your hands have gone numb. I trade your dread for my nearness. I take your spinning for my steadying. I fold you into a protection that does not isolate you but insulates you with wisdom. This is how heaven intervenes, not by removing your will but by empowering it with grace, not by erasing your story but by healing it at the point of pressure. I feel your heart asking, will it really be different this time? Yes, because this time you are not promising harder effort. You are practicing surrendered trust. You are not vowing to control better. You are choosing to release sooner. You are not bracing yourself to carry more. You are agreeing that I will carry with you and for you. This is why this is urgent. This is why heaven leaned in. If you postpone surrender, the cycle repeats. If you release now, the cycle breaks. Do not negotiate with later. Do not wait for a perfect mood. Do not search for a feeling that certifies the outcome. Obey in your trembling, and watch how the trembling quiets. Now speak it again. Lord, I give you, I. Feel the blank clear. Let tears come if they come. Let your shoulders drop. Let the breath you have been holding finally leave your lungs. Stay here a moment with me. Peace is already arriving. The ground under your feet is already less unstable. The voice that shouted, "What if?" is losing volume. This is the hinge on which the rest will turn. You have named the burden. You have handed it over. I receive it. And as you keep this posture, mouth agreeing, movement aligning, I will unfold the next instructions. I will show you where to step so that peace, not panic, becomes the gate you walk through. Do not rush away from this exchange. Do not pick the burden back up because silence feels unfamiliar. Remain with me. The emergency has been answered with surrender, and surrender has opened the door where my peace waits to lead you forward. My child, now that your hands have opened, hear me with clarity. 3 doors stand before you in this window of grace. They are not grand arches demanding a spectacle. They are simple doors with small hinges, and when you move through them, entire rooms of peace will swing open. I am supplying courage and clarity now. Do not argue with the timing. Do not wait for another sign. Step while the wind of my spirit is at your back. Doctor 1. Return to alignment. This is repentance, not as humiliation but as coming home. It is not a courtroom where you must perform a sentence. It is a doorway where you return to the sound of my voice. When you drifted, static filled the line between us. You mistook that static for my distance. It was not distance, it was interference. Repentance clears the interference and restores intimacy. It sounds like this: Father, I wandered here. I chose my way here. I see it. I turn. That is all. No speeches to impress me, no rehearsed self-punishment, no vows to achieve perfection, just a clean turning. Return from the shortcuts that cut you. Return from the quiet compromises that made your spirit heavy. Return from the secret agreements you made with fear, agreements like, I will never try again. I will never trust again. I will always protect myself from being seen. Return from the corners where resentment grew because you fed it to soothe your pain. Come back to my presence not as a stranger knocking, but as a child welcomed. Obedience here is simple and sacred. Speak it to me out loud, and then match your movement. If you drifted from prayer, set a specific time today, 15 unhurried minutes, to sit with me, even in silence. If you compromised with something that corrupted your peace, remove it. Delete what you have been hiding. Cancel what invites temptation into your night hours. Release the token you kept from an old entanglement. If you wronged someone, write the apology. Make it right without defending yourself. And do it because you are mine, not because you fear their opinion. This door restores clarity because it restores closeness. This door ends the static. This door recenters your compass so every other choice becomes simpler. Step through it now. Feel how the air changes when shame loosens and sonship returns. Door 2. Remove the wrong voice. You have been wondering why peace comes in prayer and then leaks out within the hour. Listen. A wrong voice is puncturing the container. It might be a person whose counsel sounds kind but keeps your courage small. It might be a feed that drips fear, comparison, and outrage into your veins. It might be a habit that numbs your ache and then amplifies your confusion. It might be an environment that celebrates what I asked you to lay down. Do not call this harmless when it is harming your clarity. Do not call it keeping up when it is keeping you bound. Obedience here is boundary, not bitterness, not superiority, boundary. Boundaries are love in wise shape. They guard the riverbanks so your peace can flow strong instead of spilling into every ditch. Turn off the tap where confusion is poured. Mute the account that makes you despise your own story. Unfollow the voice that sells you a life I did not write. Step out of the chat where gossip clouds your discernment. Stop answering the midnight messages that awaken old appetites and old shame. Change the playlist that trains your emotions to spiral. Set do not disturb when you meet with me so heaven does not compete with notifications. Choose a fast from the endless scroll, 24 hours of silence from the noise that keeps you anxious, so your nervous system can remember what stillness feels like. If a relationship manipulates you away from my direction, say a gentle, clean no. If a workplace conversation turns your hope to cynicism every day, limit your exposure and increase your inner prayer there. If your own inner critic shouts louder than my kindness, contradict it out loud with truth I have taught you. I am mine. I am forgiven. I am guided. Removing a voice is not hate. It is stewardship. When you remove the wrong voice, you will hear me with a surprising ease. Wisdom will stand closer. Courage will rise without being forced. Doctor 3, take the next right step. Not 10 steps, not a grand performance to earn my approval. One step that matches what we have already settled. Your breakthrough is tied to this act. Small in size, massive in impact. It might look unimpressive to others. In heaven's accounting, it is decisive. Send the message you have drafted a dozen times but never sent. The one that apologizes honestly. The one that asks for a conversation. The one that blesses where you burned a bridge. Submit the application you have delayed because fear said, "Who do you think you are?" Make the appointment with the counselor, the doctor, the advisor you have postponed. Pay the small debt you can pay now instead of waiting for the perfect day. Ask for help. Call the friend I am highlighting in your memory and say the sentence you avoid. I need support. Cancel the harmful agreement. End the subscription that fuels your bondage. Void the handshake with the opportunity that twists your values. Rescind your yes to what I never asked you to carry. Forgive. Speak blessing over the one you swore you would never bless, and hand me the gavel again. Rest. Close the laptop at a set hour tonight. Put the phone out of reach and let your body learn my protection in sleep. Begin. Write the first page. File the first form. Pack the first box. Research the first class. Take the first walk. Prepare the first meal that honors the temple of your body. One step, my child. One step today, while courage and clarity are here. You say, how soon? While the window is open. Grace is breath on your neck right now. I am not manipulating you. I am informing you. Timing matters because I am supplying what you asked me for, focus, courage, and a settled heart. When you act within this grace, it feels like walking with the wind. When you postpone, you begin to walk into it. Later, the same act feels 3 times heavier because the wrong voices return and rebuild their case. Move with me while the case is dismissed and the door is easy to open. These minutes are merciful. Use them. Let me tell you what obedience is not so you do not exhaust yourself misunderstanding me. Obedience is not perfection. I am not asking you to orchestrate every detail flawlessly. I am asking you to move honestly in the direction I am showing you. Obedience is not self-earning. You are not buying my favor with effort. My favor is the reason I am speaking, not the prize you hope to win by performing. Obedience is not emotional hype. You do not need to feel fireworks to be faithful. Many holy steps are taken with shaking hands and a steady whisper. Obedience is trust in motion, surrender expressed through one clear choice. It is faith applied, not merely felt. Pause and listen to your body now. Your breath has lengthened. Your shoulders have softened. That is not a trick of words. It is my presence testifying that we are aligned. Let that peace be your green light. If panic spikes when you consider a step, bring it back to me and let me refine it. If peace deepens, proceed. If your mind argues but your spirit settles, trust the settling. I am closer than your breath. I am not sending you to do this alone. I am going with you, within you, around you. You do not need to open all 3 doors in a single hour, but you will open them within this window. Start with the one I have lit brightest. You know which it is, the one that rose up even as you read, the one your fear tried to bargain away a moment ago. Name it, act on it. Then, as momentum builds, move to the next. Each door multiplies the effect of the others. Returning to alignment sharpens your discernment to set boundaries. Removing the wrong voice makes it easier to hear the next right step. Taking the next right step confirms that repentance is real, not only emotion. I have already gone ahead of you and prepared favor in the places where obedience will take you. I have drawn a circle of protection around what you cannot yet see. Angels are ministering on the path you will walk as you say yes. The hinges are oiled. The latch is loose. Do not stand before an open door and ask it to open more. Walk through. I am your Lord, your Redeemer, your steady hand. This is the moment we turn urgency into forward motion, panic into peace-filled choices, delay into decisive love. Now, my child, do this with me. Whisper your yes, and then let your feet agree. Write the apology. Press send. Set the boundary. Press mute. Open the calendar. Book the appointment. Close the tab. Open the page that holds your next faithful step. Return, remove, move. Each second of obedience opens a floodgate you could not force open by striving. I am here. I am strong. I am gentle. And I am opening these 3 doors before you right now. My child, listen to me now. Peace is not a mood you must chase or a fragile feeling you must protect. Peace is my presence taking its rightful seat inside you. Peace is my authority entering your inner world, like a king crossing the threshold. It does not ask the storm for permission. It does not wait for the weather to improve. It steps into the wind and says, "Here I am," and everything within you remembers who is in command. This is the exchange I promised. Your panic for my peace, not after the waves are calm, but right in the middle of the spray and the roar. My peace does not depend on your understanding. It surpasses it. It guards where your thoughts cannot guard themselves. Let it come closer now. Be with me in your body for a moment. Place your hand over your heart again. Unclench your jaw. Let your tongue rest from all the words you have rehearsed and swallowed. Drop your shoulders. Let them fall from your ears. Loosen your belly. Let it soften. Breathe with me. In through your nose for 4, slow and steady. Hold for 4, like pausing at a doorway with me beside you. Out through your mouth for 6, longer than the inhale, like surrender leaving your lungs. Again, in for 4, hold for 4, out for 6. As breath moves, say my name quietly, Jesus. You do not need to perform relaxation. Invite me into the place where your body has been bracing. I am Lord there too, over your nerves, over your heart rate, over the shaking behind your ribs. Let your breath bear witness that you are not alone in your skin. Now, let us address the loop that keeps replaying. You know the one, the scene that interrupts your sleep, the argument you edit, the worst-case news that never stops broadcasting across your mind. I am here to interrupt the broadcast. Imagine a hand on the dial. I turn down the volume of fear and I turn up the frequency of my voice. You do not have to solve the loop to stop bowing to it. Release the gavel. The court in your head is adjourned. I will be the guard at the door of your mind. I will keep watch while you rest. Hand me the script of your what-ifs, page by page. You will not drop anything essential by letting me hold it. Hear me on this. You are not weak because you are tired. You are human, and I formed you from dust on purpose. I breathe life into dust, not into pretend invincibility. I am not disappointed by your limits. I am not surprised by your tears. I am not angry that your hands tremble when you obey. I am near, I am kind. I am gentle with bruised places. Rest is not failure, it is faith. Let me be your rest. Let me dignify your weariness with my presence until weariness yields to strength. You do not have to prove you are worthy of care. You already are. Mine. I speak now to the grief that sits like a stone in your chest. I sit with you in the empty chair you keep glancing toward. I honor the love that makes loss hurt this much. I will not rush you past it, but I will not leave you there alone. To the one carrying betrayal like a burning brand, come into my coolness. I see what was taken, what was twisted, what was used against you. My justice remembers. My mercy holds you safe. To the one whose loneliness makes every room echo, lean into me. I am the friend who does not grow bored with your silence. To the one disappointed by doors that promised and then closed, lift your eyes. I am opening another you could not have forced. I am close to the brokenhearted. I bind up those crushed in spirit. Let my nearness do the stitching now underneath the surface where words cannot reach. Even if nothing outside you changes tonight, everything inside you can begin changing now. The storm may continue beyond your window. Within you, the sea can grow still. This is not pretending that pain is small. It is recognizing that my presence is greater. The first proof of rescue is stabilization. Your breathing slows. Your jaw releases. The hurricane loses the right to name your next decision. From this quiet, you will hear my instructions more clearly. From this quiet, you will say no without shaking and yes without bargaining. From this quiet, courage grows, not the kind that shouts to drown fear, but the kind that stands and knows. Understand what my peace is doing. It is not a scented candle in a chaotic room. It is a government taking its seat. My peace outranks your latest update. My peace is a guard you did not hire, posted at your mind and heart, turning away lies that arrive dressed as common sense. My peace is an anchor hidden beneath the surface. Winds tug, currents pull, but you do not drift off destiny. My peace is a law in my kingdom. Where I am welcomed, storms must bow. You invited me. I am here. Watch how the inner weather changes. Breathe again, my child. In for 4, hold for 4, out for 6. As you exhale, release the clenched thought you grabbed again without noticing. Place it in my hand by name. Whisper, I give you this, Lord. Feel the softening. Your nervous system is learning me, the cadence of safety, the rhythm of being carried. Your body is not your enemy. It has been trying to guard you with limited tools. I now supply a better guard. Tell your body the truth it can obey. We are safe in God. We are held. We are guided. Speak it out loud until your shoulders believe. You have blamed yourself for how long healing is taking. You have punished yourself for not bouncing back. Hear my correction wrapped in compassion. Stop insulting the wounds I am healing by demanding they disappear on your timetable. I do not rush a careful stitch. I do not shame a tender scar. I use them to make you wise, kind, and strong in a way that does not harden. Forgiveness will not erase memory, it will erase torment. Grief will not end your laughter, it will make it deeper when it returns. Loneliness will not define your future. It will teach you to recognize true companionship when I send it. Disappointment will not be your last teacher. I am. Let my peace interpret your story differently. Tonight, here is how you will cooperate with my peace. Put your phone away earlier than you usually do. Sit or lie down without distraction for 5 minutes. No heroic goals, just presence. Breathe as we practiced. Place one hand on your heart, one on your belly. Speak my name, slow and simple. Tell me 3 burdens by name and hand them over. Then ask me one question about tomorrow's step and wait in the quiet. Do not demand a paragraph. Receive a nudge, a word, a picture, a settled sense. What you sense in peace you can trust. If panic shouts, pause and return to breath with me. Let the voice that calms storms teach your body the sound of safety again. And as you lie down, know this. I cover you. I encircle the room. I stand at the threshold. I settle over your mind like a warm, weighted blanket of presence. Angels attend. Night does not interrupt my watch. Where nightmares tried to speak, I write a different dream, one of restoration, of homes repaired, of tables filled, of laughter you thought you lost forever. You may wake to the same calendar, but you will not wake with the same chaos. The inward storm is hearing my voice and quieting. That is the beginning of every outward change. Remain with me here. Do not pick up what you laid down just because stillness feels unfamiliar. Peace is not the absence of movement. It is me moving first inside you. From this center, we will move outward with wisdom. From this center, we will open doors at the right time. From this center, you will refuse the old delay and walk in holy pace. My child, I am with you. I am within you. I am around you. My peace has arrived, and it will hold you steady while I lead you forward. My child, stay with me. I know you are asking, how will I know this was truly for me and not another passing moment? Hear me, I am not hiding confirmation from you. I am placing it in plain reach, in ways that match the nearness of my peace, not the noise of spectacle. I do not need fireworks to guide my children. I lead with a steady hand, a clear whisper, a door you can actually walk through. First, notice the calm that surprised you. After we breathed together, after you named what you handed me, did your shoulders lower? Did your mind stop shouting for a moment? Did you feel an unusual steadiness come over you, not because the facts changed, but because my presence took the seat? That calm is not apathy. It is confirmation. My voice does not fray your edges. It gathers you. It gives you room to think, to pray, to choose. The enemy's voice panics you and then paralyzes you. My voice stills you and then strengthens you. Second, watch for desire returning. The desire to be with me again. The desire to open my word. The desire to come honestly without performing. You have been numb for a long stretch. When I speak, numbness begins to thaw. You will feel a gentle pull toward prayer that does not feel forced, a curiosity to sit with me again tomorrow, a hunger for what is true and clean. That is confirmation. Condemnation makes you hide. Conviction from me makes you come closer, eyes open, heart soft, ready to turn. If your heart feels corrected yet strangely relieved, that is me. If your heart feels accused and pushed away with no way back, that is not me. Third, look for one clear next step that keeps rising in peace. Not 10, not a dramatic overhaul. 1. It will return to you when you wake. It will echo while you wash the dishes. It will reappear while you drive. It will feel simple enough to do and important enough not to avoid. It will be consistent with what I have already been showing you. When you think of doing it, peace deepens, even if your hands tremble. That is confirmation. My guidance is coherent. It lines up with the character I form in you: truth, humility, purity, courage, love. There are also signs your body will recognize, not as superstition, but as the fruit of being carried. Tears that finally fall without dragging you into despair. Release, not collapse. a warmth in your chest or across your shoulders like a blanket settling, comfort, not hype. A deep exhale you did not have to force, surrender, not defeat. I created you, spirit, soul, and body. When my peace enters, your body testifies. Do not worship the sensation. Receive it as a kind companion to the word I am speaking. Use this discernment filter I place in your hand now. My voice leads you toward peace that protects your mind and heart, truth that sets you free rather than flattering your ego, humility that admits need and welcomes help, and obedience that is possible today. It will honor integrity in hidden places, invite forgiveness, and produce patience instead of frantic haste. It will make you kinder to others and more honest with yourself. The enemy's voice drives you into panic, isolates you in shame, demands grand gestures you cannot sustain, and offers confusion dressed as cleverness. It heaps accusation without a door of return. It either flatters you into pride or crushes you into worthlessness. Reject that voice. Stand under the covering of mine. You ask, what if I still feel uncertain? Then test the word the way a sailor tests the wind. Write down what you sensed. Sit with it in quiet and ask, does peace grow as I consider this? Bring it into the light with a mature, trustworthy believer who knows my ways and is not impressed by noise. Do they witness to peace, humility, and truth in it? Do not collect a crowd of opinions. Ask one or two who prize my presence over their preferences, and then take the smallest step of obedience you can take today. Confirmation multiplies in motion. As you step, clarity increases. As you stall, confusion gathers allies. I warn you gently, do not chase signs more than you seek me. Do not make adrenaline your god. Do not demand constant proof to satisfy fear. I am not playing hide and seek with your future. I am training you for partnership. Children who need fireworks at every turn cannot walk far. I am raising you into steady love. Ask for my peace. Watch for my fruit. Walk in my way. If you trip, I lift you. If you wait for a blazing sky each time, you will miss the lantern at your feet, the word for today. In the next day, you will notice confirmations that fit this quiet strength. A phrase you wrote today will be echoed in a conversation you did not orchestrate. A door you tried to pry open will close with relief instead of regret, and you will know I spared you. A memory that used to jab you will surface, and instead of spiraling, you will bless and release it without pretending. You will wake with a line of direction that still makes sense at noon. Your appetite for what harms you will weaken, not because you tried harder, but because you love me more. These are not stunts, they are signs of life, signs of peace taking root. Hear the summary in my own voice. I will confirm through peace, clarity, and obedient steps. Not chaos, not fear, not compulsion. My confirmation makes you fruitful, not frantic. It makes you honest, not hiding. It makes you brave, not brash. It draws you to me. It steadies your breath. It opens one door you can actually walk through today. Now lift your chin. Breathe once more with me. In through your nose for 4. Hold for 4. Out through your mouth for 6. Let the exhale carry the question, am I yours? Hear my answer settle in you. You are mine. From that belonging flows discernment. From that belonging flows assurance. From that belonging flows steps that build a future with me. Stay close. In the next section, I will speak the promise over your future and go before you with my word. Then I will seal this moment with prayer, protection, and the clear next steps you need. Do not drift. Do not delay. Let peace be your confirmation and let obedience be your reply. My child, hear me now. I am going before you. I am not sending you into a maze and hoping you guess correctly. I am stepping ahead to make a way where you could not find one, to straighten what has been tangled, to restore what was taken, while you were too weary to fight. I am your Lord, your Redeemer, your steady hand. The outcome of this emergency is not panic, it is peace and forward progress. I do not lead my children into frenzy. I lead them into rest that moves. You fear, what if nothing happens? Listen closely. Something has already happened. Peace first, then path. Healing first, then harvest. Alignment first, then acceleration. You felt me take the seat inside you. That is the beginning of every real breakthrough. I stabilize your inner world so that when the door opens, you can walk through it without shaking, without bargaining, without sabotaging your own blessing. Do not despise the quiet miracle because it does not shout. Quiet strength is the engine of long journeys. I am going ahead of you to level the ground that made you trip. The turns you could not predict will be guided. The knots you could not untie will loosen in my hands. Where opposition has stood like a wall, watch as I mark a gate. Where your name was misused in rooms you never entered, watch as I clear the air and speak for you without fanfare. Where timetables mocked you, watch as timing bends to my wisdom. I am not late, I am exact. I am arranging what looks random to converge into favor you did not have to force. I speak protection over you now. Traps set in darkness are being canceled. Contracts written in panic are being voided. Hidden motives are coming into the light, not to shame you, but to guide you away from harm. Counterfeit doors polished to look like destiny are going dim. Counterfeit relationships dressed in flattery and urgency are losing their grip on your attention. I am separating the near lookalikes from the real, so that you do not trade your inheritance for a promised shortcut. You asked for my guidance, I am answering with this shield. Where whispers came to turn your courage into confusion, I am silencing the hiss and strengthening your yes. You are mine. You are not late. You are not disqualified. You are being led. Your story is not defined by the moment you fell, but by the hand that lifted you. Your pace is not measured by other people's sprints, but by my steps with you. I have not overlooked you. I have not demoted you. I am not asking you to make up the distance with frantic movement. I am giving you a new stride, quiet, confident, consistent. Rest will replace striving, and from rest you will accomplish more in clean obedience than you ever achieved in anxious hustle. This is how forward movement will feel. Less arguing, more walking, less explaining, more fruit, less panic planning, more prepared paths. You will sense the nudge to turn left when you would have forced right. You will find yourself at the right conversation without manipulation. You will discover that the room you thought would never welcome you is already arranged for your arrival. You will see my fingerprints in timing you could not have orchestrated. The email answered after months of silence. The closed door that kept you safe until the true door opened. The resource placed into your hand exactly when the step demanded it. Do not call it coincidence when it is covenant. To the fear of being misunderstood, I say this. You do not have to announce yourself. You do not have to argue for your calling. You do not have to prove your worth to any room. Let obedience speak for you. Let integrity do the talking. Let the peace I have planted be your witness. Your fruit will testify in due time. Words spoken in haste require constant defense. A life aligned with me defends itself. Stand still when you are tempted to debate your value. Bow your head to me instead, and I will lift it at the proper time. To the dread of returning warfare, I say this. I am posting guards where you felt exposed. I am closing access points you did not know were open. Old patterns will attempt an entrance, but they will find a locked gate and an answered name on the ledger, mine. Night plans formed against you will fall apart in daylight. Plots that rely on your panic will fail because panic has been evicted. Entanglements that once pulled you back will now feel foreign, uninteresting, unconvincing. This is not your willpower. This is my presence reordering your appetites and your allegiances. What you once had to flee, you will now calmly pass by. I am redeeming time, not by turning back clocks, but by removing weights that slowed you. Days will feel longer because your mind is not spending energy on fear. Decisions will be made faster because your compass is aligned. Relationships will clarify because you are no longer negotiating with confusion. Resources will stretch further because I am teaching you to steward with peace instead of impulse. Even your body will testify, a steadier pulse, a calmer breath, a strength returning in small, faithful ways. These are signs that the king is ahead and the way is being prepared. You ask, what about what was stolen? I am a restorer. I do not return exactly what you lost in the shape you expect. I return wholeness that outlasts the loss. Joy that was siphoned by long disappointment will return in deep, quiet wells. Dignity that was eroded by accusation will be reclothed. Opportunities that vanished will be replaced by those that fit you now, not the you who performed to be chosen. Even the scars you carry will speak differently. They will no longer rehearse shame. They will recount rescue. Walk with me in quiet confidence. Keep your pace holy and human. Do not sprint to convince me you are serious. Do not lag because you fear making a mistake. I am in front and I am beside. When I slow, you slow. When I move, you move. This is the yoke of companionship, not the leash of pressure. The more you agree with my rhythm, the more you will see how easily doors open that used to resist you, and how quickly burdens fall that used to cling. I declare this over you now. The season of breathless striving is over. The season of steady building has begun. The window I opened has not closed on your hands. It has opened a corridor. I am guiding you through it. I am placing favor in your path that work alone could never earn. I am lifting accusations off your shoulders and placing a mantle of peace that will be visible even to those who doubted you. I am writing your steps clearly enough that a child could follow, because you are my child. So refuse the urge to make loud declarations to satisfy fear. Refuse the need to gather an audience for your obedience. Let the quiet do its work. Let the fruit tell the story. Keep your eyes on me. Keep your ears tuned to peace. Keep your feet moving one faithful step at a time. I am going before you. I am surrounding you. I am your rear guard. And as you obey within this grace, you will watch panic give way to peace, and peace make room for progress, until rest has replaced striving and your future stands open under my hand. Father, we come to you now. We come under the covering of your Son, Jesus, the one who calms storms with a word, who goes before us and surrounds us. We bring this holy moment to your feet and ask you to seal it. What you have begun, complete. What you have spoken, establish. What you have awakened, protect. Let nothing steal, dilute, or distort the peace you have placed within. We surrender. We hand you the weight we no longer want to carry alone. We name before you what has stolen our peace, the timelines that have taunted us, the outcomes we tried to control, the relationships we clutched from fear, the debts and deadlines, the health reports and sleepless nights, the private disappointments we refused to admit. We place them in your hands by name. Take them, Lord. Take the fear that our future will replay our past. Take the shame that whispers we are disqualified. Take the bargaining we have done in our minds. We open our fists and we release. Where we have partnered with panic, we repent. Where we have delayed obedience with clever excuses, we repent. Where we have trusted our own understanding above your leading, we repent. Wash us, cleanse our minds, purify our motives, make our hearts single, turned fully toward you. Jesus, forgive us for the ways we agreed with confusion. Forgive us for treating distraction like a harmless friend. Forgive us for calling fear wisdom and for calling disobedience caution. Cleanse the inner dialogue that accused us without hope. Let your mercy re-narrate our story. Let your goodness rewrite the places we rehearse defeat. We receive your forgiveness now. We receive a clean conscience. We receive the kindness that restores dignity. We receive the courage that grows from being loved, not from pretending to be fearless. Now we ask for protection. Draw a circle of your presence around this one you love. Guard their mind from intrusive fear. Guard their emotions from the ambush of dread. Guard their body from exhaustion that gnaws at hope. Guard their home, every room, every threshold, every screen, every conversation. Post your angels at the entries and exits. Close doors that give access to torment. Cancel assignments sent to entice, to accuse, or to confuse. Disarm every whisper that tries to drag them back into the old panic. Let your peace patrol the borders of their thoughts. Let truth stand watch at the gate. Let love be the atmosphere of this home. Protect their relationships. Remove counterfeits that drain and flatter. Strengthen the bonds you have ordained, honest, humble, mutually sharpening. Give them wise counsel that honors your presence more than preference. Silence voices that magnify hurry and scorn stillness. Cover their work, cover their commute, cover their devices. May what comes through their gates reinforce what you have said, not erode it. Where subtle agreements were formed with fear, break them. Where hidden snares were laid through distraction, reveal them. Where old cycles wait to reattach, lock the gate and write over it, belongs to Jesus. Father, we ask for instruction. You promised a path with peace at its edges. Give one clear next step that rises above the noise and remains clear in the morning. Not 10 steps, one. Write it on the tablet of the heart. Let it surface when they wake, when they work, when they wash the dishes. Make it simple enough to do today and substantial enough to shift tomorrow. Illuminate the timing, align the provision, set divine appointments in motion, remove unnecessary options that complicate discernment. Where they need to say yes, give a strong yes. Where they need to say no, give a settled no. And give grace not only to begin, but to finish. Grace to follow through without self-sabotage, without perfectionism, without hiding. We ask for courage. Courage to obey quickly, quietly, faithfully. Courage that is not loud, but loyal. Courage that holds steady when the old fears visit. Courage to choose the narrow door that truly leads forward rather than the wide door that circles back. Place steel in the spine and softness in the face. Put resolve in the feet and tenderness in the voice. Let humility and strength walk together. Now, Lord, let your peace settle physically. Breathe over their body, steady the heart rate, loosen the jaw, unknot the shoulders, clear the fog in the mind, ease the tightness in the chest, quiet the adrenaline that lies and says, danger is near. Replace it with assurance that says, you are held. Tonight, give deep, unbroken sleep. End the tyranny of the clock glowing in the dark. Replace rehearsed worst-case scenes with dreams of restoration. Tables filled, homes repaired, laughter returned. Let them wake rested, not merely unconscious. Let them wake remembering the step you gave, not the dread they released. Let their nervous system learn your nearness, safe, steady, present. Let peace become their body's new default. Restore hope. Where the inner voice predicted more loss, teach it to expect goodness. Where cynicism guarded against disappointment, replace it with wise optimism anchored in you. Where weariness spoke like a final judge, overrule it with your mercy. Kindle desire to be with you again tomorrow, without performance, without fear of evaluation. Give them a hunger to hear your whisper, to open your word, to walk with you at a human pace that you bless. Seal clarity. We ask that nothing in the coming hours uproot what you have planted here. If arguments try to start in the mind, end them with your answer. If old habits knock, let there be no agreement to open. If shame arrives dressed as humility, expose the lie and clothe this one in true meekness and confidence. Let discernment sharpen, not as suspicion, but as sight. Keep their steps in rhythm with your steps. When you slow, they slow. When you move, they move. Now, Father, I speak blessing and commissioning over this one. In the name of Jesus, be released to walk in peace. Do not return to the old panic. When fear invites you to consult it first, decline and consult the peace of God within you. When delay tempts you to say, later, answer now with one obedient step. When noise shouts for attention, choose the quiet that keeps you strong. You are not sent to strive breathlessly. You are sent to build steadily. You are not sent to convince the world of your worth. You are sent to live your worth under God's hand. Your mind is guarded. Your home is covered. Your relationships are aligned. Your future is not dangling, it is held. I bless your eyes to see the real door. I bless your ears to recognize the voice that leads you to life. I bless your hands to do the next faithful task without panic. I bless your feet to stand firm when the ground shakes and to move forward when the way opens. I bless your nights with rest and your mornings with clarity. I bless your heart to receive love without suspicion and to give love without fear. I bless your timeline with the wisdom of God's pace. I bless your story to speak rescue, not ruin. Today, confirm this word with obedience, not by announcing it loudly, but by walking it quietly. Put away what pulls you back. Pick up what peace highlights. Make the call you need to make. Decline the invitation you need to decline. Begin the small work that carries great weight. Write down what God showed you and keep it before your eyes. Return to this peace if you feel it slip. It has not left you. You return to it by turning to Him. Father, we seal this prayer. Let the door you opened in this moment become a corridor of faithful days. Let the peace you planted become a root that holds through weather. Let the clarity you gave become a compass that outlasts emotion. Keep your child close, closer than their breath, closer than their fears, closer than their plans. And as they move in obedience, let favor meet them, protection surround them, and rest guide them into everything you have promised. We receive it. We thank you for it. We step forward with it. In the name of Jesus, amen.